Yo, episode 45, Encore Podcast. We back. I'm here with my guy, Cruz.
What's up, Poncho?
Gang.
We here today with Deme D, the founder
sir.
of DagogetaTv, amazing media platform from New York City. And this guy does a lot. He has a lot of great shows. I think 6. Am I right? 6 shows? Yeah. So highly recommend your platform. We here today with Deme D. How you feeling, bro?
I'm good, fellas. I'm good. Appreciate you having me. You know what I mean? Brick City in the building, Queens, Brooklyn. You already.
Yes, sir. We here. Hell yeah. So, in just a few minutes, could you tell the people where you were born, where you grew up, and how you got started in the music industry?
I was born in Brooklyn, New York. You know what I mean? Killer County. You know what's up? I was raised in pretty much Brooklyn and Queens, and I spent a lot of time, later years in Newark, New Jersey as well. That's why I call myself Mr. Everywhere You Never There, because I'm pretty much, all around the tri-state. I'm just got into the industry, man. My pops was a DJ, so it's always been in my life. I'm like a hip-hop kid, and it's pretty much been something that I grew up with, not off. And it's something, music in general is something I've always been passionate about. But hip-hop was something that I could relate to and be a part of. So I would say ever since young, that was my focus. And I just use my connections, my drive, and my know-how to get within the industry. I'm still not in the industry yet, but I'm making my way. I've worked with people in there, so that's pretty much
for sure. And you had a period where you're an artist too.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
Yeah. How was that transitioning from being an artist to having a media platform? Like, what was that transition like, and why was that transition for you?
The transition was very difficult for me. I was definitely a passionate artist, and I definitely had my mind set on that goal. There were some reasons that I can only touch on some of it as far as what made me stop, but it was definitely some changes in my life and some choices that I made that affected my capability of hustling the way I was accustomed to. Because as you see, I've been the go-getter, so it's not really the TV. That's just something I've added on. So, I just couldn't hustle the same way and couldn't pursue it the same way. And I just had already like a reputation and then just my own expectations. So that's part of the reason why I had to make that shift. And I took a little break, maybe 2 years, and just tried to think of a way where I could transition back in.
Did you notice that there was like a lack of media platforms, and you wanted to sort of fill that void, or is that something, where did taking that side of the industry take place for you? Because a lot of times artists turn into managers, or maybe they take something else.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Media is probably second.
Even though I was an artist, I've always been known as like a hip hop junkie, like a guy who knows about a lot of rap, so that's always been something I've been knowledgeable about. I just saw that there was not a lack. I just felt like there was like corny people doing it, people not really, like real talk. They not informed. They just riding waves, and I'm like, I'm more swaggier than them. I'm more informed, so it has to be me that's not doing enough. I need to step it up. So I just felt, and the real reason though, that was a real reason too, but the most important thing was I just felt that the culture was being slept on. Like a lot of shit talking about everybody's whack. There's no more good rappers no more. And I'm like, there's a lot of talent out here. Y'all just not supporting it no more. There's no more platforms. It's not in the forefront. And also just New York specifically was getting shitted on. So I had to build a platform that, support the upcoming artists and the artists that's in the game already that's just not getting liked.
That's a fact. I've heard so many people say like New York is the hardest place to get on, and a lot of people are disconnected and not trying to support each other. You see a lot of that?
I don't know what aspect they mean though. I know on the Comeup side, it's very difficult on that end as far as like people banding together and really not being too shady or cutthroat, because it's like maybe you're fighting for position. But within the people in the industry, I see a lot of collabing. I do see a lot of networking. But at the same time, I am on the sort of the outside looking in. And some of the peeps behind the curtain I have seen is like, oh, okay, I get what people are saying.
Yeah.
Definitely feel that.
One other thing on that though, you have experience being an artist and running a media platform. Do you feel like being on media is a maybe not easier way in, but like, you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. It's funny y'all asking me this because just last week I was reflecting, because I don't really talk about the artistry no more, because I just want to make sure it's focused on that lane. But I was thinking like, damn, if you would have told me 10 years ago I would have been doing this, I'd have laughed in my face. Or I'd have laughed in your face.
Wow.
Yeah. So is it easier? I think it's less. I think it's not easy. I think the expectations of your presentation is just different. I think when you do media, you could even though some people aren't doing it, you could still be yourself to a certain extent.
Yeah.
I don't think there's no way you have to present it. If you know what I mean. Like when you're an artist, if you're not presenting it, if you don't got the tats, the chain, blah, 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 you already cut off from a certain market. And that's sometimes even vice versa. If you do have that, then some people already assume you don't have any type of real substance and shit. But so I just think as far as that, maybe less overhead, it's a lot of fucking money to be an artist. It takes a lot of money.
Yeah.
A lot of promotion. Even though with the media, it takes that as well. But so I would say it's a slight more less difficult road. I don't know if it's easy.
Yeah. Yeah, I could get behind that. So how did you wind up getting started? Like, what were your first steps, the first couple months of you getting the Go Get It started? Like, what was that like for you?
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I pondered on that shit, and yes, I said pondered. I pondered on that shit for like 9 months. Honestly, should I even bother? Is it a waste of time? Because I started with the hip hop desk. All this other shit is expansion. So the main focus was the hip hop desk.
That was your first series.
That was the first series. So I had to think like, does anybody even really want to watch that type of shit? I'm talking about in this specific music from like late 80s to like mid 20s. So it's not even the new salacious hot shit. But I know that there's people, because I spend mad time debating with people about old shit, and maybe not only old shit, because there are a lot of old artists or veteran artists that still drop music, so you could talk about that. So I just thought like, I got to make sure if I start, I can't stop. That was my main thing. That's what took me so long. I'm like, if I start, I can't stop. If I have a guest,
dedicated,
I can't stop. Like, because that, to me, that's just the worst feeling. When people be like, "Oh, what happened?" Like, "Oh, what?" So that's so the first thing I'm like, I got to make sure I have a steady location, and I wanted to have a co-host, but the person that I wanted to do it with, it was already not working out as far as scheduling, and so it made me rethink. And I'm just like, I'm just gonna have guests then. So I just wanted to have a steady amount of guests. Once I had like 3-4 reliable people that actually knew music, I know it would make a good talk piece. Booked the first spot, and then
just had it going.
Yeah, got it going.
Did you have like a video producer that helped you? Or you literally just set up some iPhones and you just like just made it happen?
I just had a cameraman.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, I already had the vision I wanted already. Had the desk.
And he edited it and everything.
Did he edit it? Yeah, it was some little bit editing because it wasn't really. It's straight. I broke it down into, the hip hop desk is broken into like 3 segments, 3 10-minute segments, 15-minute max, especially when I first started, because ain't nobody trying to watch all that shit.
Yeah.
So it ain't that much editing unless somebody just goes off the rail or something like that. So I'll just be like, chop that off real quick. But over time, not even that much time, I just started doing that little shit myself.
Yeah. That was one thing I did notice. So you split them up in parts. It was just to make it more like digestible.
Yeah. Okay. 1 episode is 3 parts.
Okay.
So and then the third part, I add a little movie that had hip hop in it and shit. Like that.
Nice.
How has your process changed since you started? Like, how has your videos evolved? Would you say?
They've evolved because I started doing 2 camera shoots. Some cameramen, they use the 4K or they have the definite certain HD. I would say just the story edit, not the physical edit. The story edit itself is just, I'm definitely.
What's the story edit?
A story edit is when you want certain things to be placed a certain way and just to have a certain order and where it makes sense more to put something there.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
So you'll rearrange the episode to like make it flow better?
Not that particular one. I'm talking about maybe like how I have the cipher. So in the cipher, in the middle of the interview, it'll break to one of their videos.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, you know what I mean? So I'll be putting that together and I'm just have a better flow with that as far as.
I noticed that like you were introducing a guest in an interview and then you put clips of like their songs like into it and that, little things like that. Just,
Do you get copyrighted for that?
Not for their music.
Okay.
You never got flags from that? Because I was thinking the same thing. Because you had like 3 big songs on like your interview. I was wondering if you got like just a flag.
YouTube be on our ass, bro. YouTube be on our ass.
I don't know. Well, I got. Well, it wasn't they shit though. That was the thing. They told me it was theirs, so I got flagged for somebody who used someone else's shit.
Just a flag, not a strike.
Not a strike. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Just but most of the time it's the artists. I have them on the show, so I don't know if that helps or not. But
for sure. One thing about that, so I'm sure. we already talked about this off camera. You get hit up all the time. A lot of artists want to come on. They want to talk their shit. They want to promote themselves. And let's just be real. Everyone can't go. So what is it about an artist that would make you be like, all right, I want you on the platform versus...
and listen, I have this conversation all the time on Twitter and in person. And basically, you have to be active, man. You have to look like an artist. Like if I'm shining light on you, you got to look like you're serious. And I don't mean just necessarily, not even necessarily. I don't even mean numbers. You have to be active on social media. The times have changed and you have to accept that. So if I somebody hit me up to tell me to look at this kid, and this kid is talented. He definitely can spit, and he had the Drake thing going as well. Could really sing. But I go to his social media, and it's like, yo, come on, man, you got like 7 pictures of nothing. It doesn't even show that you're an artist. So you just gotta look like an artist, be consistent, and have good music. Though I can't front. Certain things with music is subjective. So it's like, all right, maybe I'll put you out, and then somebody else will like your shit, but the brand is mostly, it's that hip hop shit. Like, so,
for sure.
You know what I mean? But yeah, just be consistent and serious mostly.
So it's brand first over the music?
Well, the type of music is the brand. So like,
well, I meant on the artist aspect. So like when you're looking for them, you look at their consistency, their work ethic before you even check out the music?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, because as far as if I'm gonna work with you, because there's dudes that I listen to their music, but then it's like, yo, you don't even have a professional picture. And I hate to be that guy, but it's like, at the same time, a lot of people get upset or get frustrated with me because you can't really say nothing to me because as we spoke about, I did it. So I had the videos, I went out of town to perform, like I did it to the max as far as on your own dime. Only thing next level is if you have somebody actually pushing you. So it's like you gotta, you know what I mean? So it's like you gotta have professional pictures, man. Like I gotta do that shit too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I gotta have professional pics. You gotta be out there. You gotta have interviews. You can't just have links. These people just got links.
Word. I agree.
Facts. One thing you talked about in another interview, and I kind of want to get that conversation out again, is your conversation on showcases.
I showed him this.
Yeah. I really liked what you had to say about
funny.
that. I thought it was so funny.
Well, as you see, it ties in because I know I have experience with it. So it's not like I'm just talking, from the outside looking in. I just think in New York City, I just don't see anyone really benefiting from it. And then the setup is just like 1,000 people. For the night, you got people waiting there, and then you just doing it. It becomes a whole who thing, and I don't know if we benefiting from it. Like,
so you would dissuade artists from doing showcases?
I would say don't get caught up in thinking that's one of the avenues. I would say go there because a lot of shit is not. There's no one thing. There's a lot of artists think, or just people chasing the dream in general think there's this one thing. A lot of this shit is like. I can't even remember. I saw somebody who did something so old ago too, but that's what it's about. When you get on, all people is gonna be like, "Oh shit, they did that. Oh shit, they was doing that. Oh, they didn't just come out the blue." So when you do showcases, it's more so for that. It's more so for your competition or your peers or future collaborators.
The practice performance,
or to see, because like even with, I don't want to drag on with it, but like even with sports, you find out a lot of these dudes, they're not brand new to each other. They've been playing against each other since high school AAU, so they're not surprised when they see each other.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
So the showcases is just for that. Yeah, I'm here, nigga. I'm here. Yeah. You see me at the cases. I belong here.
And I assume you're a really active networker at showcases too, right? Like you try to meet the promoters, you try to plug people in. Yeah, right? Because I feel like a lot of artists go there, they're with their
stand
crew,
in the corner, in the fucking,
oh my God. They wait for
that shit is crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, like
that's a good point.
We all here for the same reason, or we should be at least. Like just say what's up to this guy. He's right next to you, right? It's like,
that's a great point though.
Yeah.
Because then that is a great point, because then you really dig into that and you find out the ones that's bitching the most are the ones that's doing that. So you just went there to do what and talking about his whack, but little do you know that promoter could have put you onto a better show, or artist there could have put you onto a studio or something.
Yeah, for sure. And then artists be so Hollywood, they be like, as soon as they get off the stage, they go home. Yeah. It's like, bro, if you go in the crowd and you start cheering for this guy, he's probably gonna cheer for you back. Like if you go crazy, like if I'm at a showcase, I'm gonna be right in front cheering, and I'm not performing, but like if the community sees you're somebody that shows love, the community's gonna gonna love you back.
Real
So it's
shit.
like, why are you gonna be
energy.
confrontational? Yeah. So
Well, it's that New York shit.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
That is
You know
a
what
New
I'm
York
saying? It's that
attitude.
New York
Yeah,
shit for the
for
most part. And it's always a lot
That's
of
it.
Brooklyn niggas
Gotta
at these
stand out.
showcases.
That
Yeah.
shit's so crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
So crazy. Yo, so you have done probably more podcasts than we can even count at this point. So what is it about your show, any of the shows, that stands out to you? Anything guest based that stands out to you, being like, oh, with this guest it was dope, versus oh, with this guest that I want this to end.
I actually do. I actually do interviews and hosting outside of my channel as well.
Okay.
So I've definitely experienced that. Well, some people, man, it's just like pulling teeth. Like, you know, some people or even like, I don't know, like sometimes people ramble, but they still have, you know, they still making good points. So it's still something that, you know, you could gravitate to. Sometimes people just rambling and you're just like, wow, that's a really long answer to say. So yeah, some people, you know, they are more willing to answer shit too. Like some people, they kind of sway.
Cool.
They kind of sway from certain questions sometimes, or So when someone's just ready to, you know, let you dive into their story, that usually makes it a good interview.
How did you develop your media personality? Is that something that, because you have a great media personality now, you have very confident, you speak very deliberately, and you thought out. I think you make a good amount of like eye contact, things like that. How did you work through that at the beginning? Was that difficult for you at first?
Well, that's the thing. That's the reason why I started this shit, because I'm like, yo, this shit is me. These motherfuckers out here is whack. They corny. I can't believe that this is even happening.
Respectfully.
Now, you know what? I take that back, because my intentions are disrespectful, because it's like, at the end of the day, that's what helped me do it. For real. It's just, I'm just me. And what I learned to do though is see that part of me, I realized you have to kind of tone that back a little bit. You know, you don't want to be the off-putting person or the one that everyone is uncomfortable when you come around. But at the same time, I do want niggas to stand up when I come through.
Yes, sir.
So it has to be like a little bit of balance. But nah, this is pretty much what I've been doing most of my life. You know, I performed on stage. I wasn't one of those artists that was hiding in the cribs. I was outside, you know, hitting the stage. Even prior to that, you know, I'm gonna shout out, you know, one of my old schools. I used to do plays in school, so I performed in front of my class.
Okay, so that's always been a part of you.
Yeah, this is me. That's what made me really reflect. Like, yo, you got to use what you have, my guy.
Yeah.
Did you ever have any issues? Like, a lot of people are camera shy, whether it's because they don't like how they look, they don't like how they sound. There's a million reasons. Did you ever have any of those problems?
That's a new problem I'm having with how I'm looking on camera, as far as like, oh, your hoodie looking mad slant.
You got lint on your shirt.
That shit like that is starting, you know, you start doing so much content, you start noticing shit like that. But as far as anything else, nah, it's you know, I hate to sound like an ass, but everyone knows my name is Deme D. So there's no short of arrogance and confidence. That's just my swag.
Yes,
but
sir.
I just, you know, and there's other things that, you know, I have shortcomings with, but that's just not one of them. What I will say though, the first time, like, because I've been on stage since I was like 6, 7, you know what I mean? But the first time I did experience some jitters, it was weird. It was weird. One of my friends asked me to host a showcase.
Really?
And as the days started coming, I was like, oh, this is what it feels like.
Yeah.
Where I had to tell my sisters and some of my family, like, yo, I never felt this shit before.
How do you deal with that? Some artists are just like, oh, I can't go.
Nah, it was like because listen, I've been in hostile crowds, so it's like it was just such a weird feeling. Though I was like, oh, okay, I could see how people could get stiffened or frightened by it, but I was just like, it's just funny to me. Like, damn, you wait till now. This was like 2017. I'm talking about, so I'm like, damn, you wait till now, like, to feel it. But I just pushed through, you know what I mean? And once maybe because it was something new, I hadn't hosted anything at that point yet.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense
for sure.
So you've developed a lot of relationships throughout your career. How do you maintain all those relationships? I know you're big on that. Like, how do you have like a sort of way that you try to, you know, you make sure everybody knows that you're still connected?
Yes, because that is my main thing, you know. But I have to say, to be genuine and sincere. I know it might sound corny, but I'm sincere. I think I don't overplay my hand, as far as like, I think when I'm dealing with someone, I don't try to make like, yeah, man, we the best friends in the world. Like, I don't think I overplay it. If I have genuine respect for you and I respect your brand, I talk as such. If we're dealing with each other, whereas maybe going beyond that, as far as maybe some other type of friendship, as far as whether we hanging or chilling, I'm open to that. Or, but I just think I'm not a sucker. Like, I'm not trying to get over on anybody. I'm not an opportunist to a certain extent. If there is an opportunity I'm seeking, I'm looking for both of us to benefit. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to make sure that, I got to come out on top. I'm not really moving like that. Yeah. And I think that reflects on.
Yeah. You spend a lot of time on social media as well. Jesus. I know you talk about like researching, God. Like you use the word research, like you spend a ton of time researching. Yes. And like I feel like that's like something that a lot of artists or just people in general gotta take more serious. Like you can get a lot of value just by really looking for certain people online. So it's like, what's your process for sort of finding new people? Or you look like I know it probably takes a ton of different forms, but like
so you got the artist of the week too. Like
Oh man, that's a lot of work.
Like I know you dig into albums all the time. Like it takes a ton of time.
Let's say IG. Well, first of all, word of mouth. Some people that I know, and some people suggest it, whatever. But on IG, I kind of dig through hashtags sometimes.
Hashtags?
Really? I kind of dig through hashtags.
Yeah, like
for artists,
like an NYC artist, something like that, or like it depends.
It depends because the hashtags with music is so vague too. It could somebody will be holding up a fucking donut or something like that.
Yeah.
So it'll hit.
Up next.
I'm next on the donut joint.
Nah, for
so you
real,
know what I'm
bro.
saying? So that's not really the most useful, but it's a lot. I don't know. I'm on Twitter.
Yeah. Why is Twitter such a big platform for you?
I think, listen, I love Twitter though. I really do. I think it's great because people are there to flex, but not like all these other sites. I think there's more discourse going on, especially music-wise. Twitter is beautiful music-wise. It's for the type of music I like to discuss. That crowd is just there. It's like a university. Twitter's always going. It's always moving. I don't think nobody's really snobbish on Twitter. Because they understand. I mean, it still happens, but they understand you're putting your thoughts out there. Like Facebook is more like, people tend to not really just want some random person coming in their shit, depending on how the platform is ran.
Okay.
But Twitter's just in UK. It's just like Saudi Arabia. They talking about a little baby. So
that's fine.
A lot of people don't mind you promoting your thing constantly because I'm on Twitter constantly promoting. You can't on IG. You got to really be strategic.
You can't do that.
Facebook, you got to be strategic. People, he's at it again.
Yeah, they can fuck up your algorithm and all that. Yeah,
and people,
that makes sense.
Yo, so this is one of my favorite questions to ask anyone who's worked with a lot of artists. There's actually two of them, but the first one is, what is one thing that you wish artists would understand about what you do?
That is a good question. Damn. That it's not to make you look good. You have to already look good. I can't make you look good if you just looking bad out here. So like I said, the quality of your pictures, your music, your quality, just how much you are consistent. So I think they don't understand how much work it takes. Just like, okay, let's take the Cypher show. If I'm taking, you have a 5-minute clip you did a Cypher, we did an interview, and I'm putting sprinkles of your video in there. So that means I'm taking 15 seconds of your 3-minute video. So you could look and see if you look at your video, I didn't just take the first beginning. So that means I had to sit through all your fucking videos. And you said a certain part in this interview. I was like, okay, that might match with this part. So I'm not just throwing your shit together. I spent hours researching your shit to put that little 5-minute clip together to make you look good. So I just wish they would understand that. Like, so don't lose your mind if I say, this time you might have to pay $25.
Yeah.
You might have to pay $50 this time because I got pictures for you as well.
You can't make something out of nothing.
And it's not even for me. Sometimes it's just to hit the camera. It's funny, yo, because like just watch this Queens Flip Math Hoffa shit, and they talking about paying cameraman. So it's like, yeah, you gotta pay the cameraman, you gotta pay the spot. Look out for the spot.
That's a fact.
So
the other question, just with people who work with a lot of artists, you know what I'm gonna ask. All right, what is some ways that artists shoot themselves in the foot?
What do you mean? With audience or within their
just
peers?
Like someone is chasing the dream, they're doing everything that they need to do to get where they need to go, or maybe they're not. But basically, just an artist who has aspirations. What are some things you see them do that just kills it?
So I'm gonna say to a certain extent, thinking they're on already. I think that's probably like the biggest detriment. Like thinking they made it already.
Yeah.
Well, because damn, it's layered though. So it's like because there's people that are known on social media, right? Mm-hmm. But they can't go nowhere and when I say nowhere, I don't just mean some random place. I'm talking about where there are music functions, social functions, people in industry functions, and they can go there and no one really knows them. And then I guess there's vice versa where people got the footwork and legwork, but their social media presence isn't really there. Mm-hmm. So I think it's sometimes depending on where your footing is, you could think you're on, and it's like you get to the point where you might put up pictures and get a lot of likes, but you're not getting booked. Mm-hmm. So it's like you're not on.
And then they might start moving like they're at that level when
you start moving like that, and then now your sense of urgency is gone, your sense of hunger is gone, and you're not moving, and you're not moving no more. Like you moving like a star.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense.
Interesting. Yeah, I agree.
Well, I know one thing you keep talking about is consistency and how they're not as consistent as they should do. But how do you keep yourself consistent with your content? Do you set like every Sunday I have to get this in no matter what? Like how do you keep yourself consistent? Because you're very consistent.
As far as recording or releasing?
Both.
Well, the releasing, I'm like, yo, I have to do it. I don't care if my body is working, if no family member is injured, then I have to release it. Sometimes there's little problems as far as the edit didn't come out in time. Sometimes I shot it on Saturday and I'm trying to get it out Sunday, and so besides shit like that. As far as the recording, because you know what it is, it's not a Tuesday thing or a Saturday thing. So when I say that, people be like, yo, on Tuesday, be like, yeah, this shit mean the world to me. Yes, it's everything. Then Wednesday, be like, nah, man, I'm about to catch the Knicks. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Friday, it's like, oh, no, we about to hit the bar. Not to say that you can't, but I'm just saying. Then Saturday, it's like, yeah, nah, this shit mean everything to me. Like, this shit mean everything all day, every day. And besides, family and, beliefs and, the shit that should come before your aspirations, like nothing really comes before it. Like,
I'm so happy you said that, bro. I think that mindset is so, like, you got to be obsessed with it. Like, and I don't see that a lot. So I'm so happy you said that.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I think it's just, people don't really understand what it takes. That I have a newfound just respect for even people I call trash that make it, because it's like, it take a lot of fucking work, a lot of, perseverance to push through hard times. Because I'm sure even the ones who brag about jewelry and all that shit or have whack rhymes, had to go through hard times to get there. So.
And there's low points. I wanted to ask you, like, how do you work through times where you're not getting the reception that you would expect? Like, do you listen to your audience like immediately when that happens and just be like, hey, maybe I stopped doing this? Maybe not listen to your audience, but listen to the numbers. Like, how do you work through those moments? Because that's different.
Because right now I'm still my audience is still small, and then when I do have a large audience, it's usually someone who's within the industry, like a review. So it's like I don't really count that. But yeah, that's very difficult for me. I can't front. That's definitely very difficult for me as far as someone who's working this hard and feeling like I'm putting in the work, and then like you said, I'm researching every day, and I see other creators just pop up nowhere out of my feed. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? He's already at like
and
thousands of numbers. I'm like, I never heard of this guy. That does get a little frustrating, but I do. And then I get inbox and be like, yo, man, your show is dope. I appreciate you having artists like this on your platform all the way from the UK. And then somebody hit me up to do some writing for their website. So then it's like shit like that lets me know, a manager from someone who's a pretty good artist. He's a pretty good artist out there. They hit me up to do exclusives. Sometimes I go to studio sessions with niggas who release their new shit. So it's a lot of shit going on that I have to try to be appreciative of as well. But trying to get them numbers,
Definitely feel
facts.
that.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So what's that writing part of your career? Like, what do you do on the writing side?
So now I'm writing story articles on like artists. I'm gonna expand as well. I already started. I wrote something on someone who she's, I guess, like I don't want to say I guess. She does like pretty much consulting, media promotion, but it's not music. It's more like the look. So she does events like catering, brunches and shit like that. So I write articles on artists, and I'm trying to expand to people like that. I'm not a journalist. I don't know. This shit just keeps falling on my lap. It just keeps coming here. And like I said, if you would have asked me 10 years ago, would I be doing this shit, I would have laughed. But yeah, so I wouldn't call myself a journalist. I just write about music and music artists I like and people I want to promote and see do well and try to just give them whatever hand I can. But yeah, shout out to SLY Media, you know what I mean? Something You Live. That's one of the sites I've been writing for.
Fire.
The other one is, still in the works there, so I don't really want to.
Yeah. Those write-ups, they do a lot for artists. I know some people will chase them. Some people are like, it's not even worth it. So,
well, I guess it depends on what you're trying to get out of it. Like the site I'm writing for is not a Google verified site. It's Upstart.
Okay.
So it wouldn't add to your like search engine, but at the same time, like what I try to explain to artists is this, right? Because I got friends, I got cousins, I got people, when they're looking through music, it's not the 90s no more. It's like, it's just not music first for the most part to get catapulted, right? So when you look up your name, people say, oh, they got a write-up. Okay. They must be somebody. So everything is about perception, even though, like when they say fake it to make it, I think people have taken it way out of context, right? They're taking it way out. When they say fake it to make it, they mean shit like that. Okay, you got to write up. It's not a fucking Times Magazine write up, but you got to write up. It's like, oh, to someone who doesn't know any better, they'd be like, oh, okay, they're doing things.
Yeah, gotta look.
When I was doing the music, a couple of people in my job like, yo, why are you still working here? I'm like, I'm not making no money. But the perception from the interviews, from the videos, from the shows, I had one show that, it wasn't my show, but it was a big show. So, it's all perception. So they just like, why are you still working here?
Yeah,
like, fam, I need this check.
It's like that. Do you feel like, and we kind of talked about this off camera too, that it might be that artists should invest in their image more or their music more?
When you say image, you mean presentation?
Presentation.
Yes. Okay, so I feel like there should be a 50-50 balance. I feel like the problem is if you lack self-awareness, you need to get with a team that can point out where you're lacking, right? Like we talked about, I think it was off camera, about producers and sometimes being more like hibernated, introverted.
Yeah.
So it's like if making music for you is easy, but doing interviews is hard for you, then start investing in them interviews because you already got the music. So that's the problem. People they want to just focus on what they're good at and what's easy. And for the most part, people who make it, unless you just got like a crazy team or you just get that ill alley-oop, for the most part, them people, they were uncomfortable. They stepped out of the whatever zone, at least to some degree. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I would say you just got to invest in what you're lacking or what's not as good. If your music is fucking great, then what more are you going to do? You're going to keep growing as far as an artist. But if your pictures are shitty, they're not even going to look at your music. I mean, they're not even going to listen to your music. If you don't got no videos, like, so you want to invest into your presentation. If that's lacking, if you got the drip, you got all the drip, all the gear, you coming in with all the chicks, but you got one album in 3 years, or you got 2 videos, then you it's not adding up. Invest in the music.
Definitely.
Sure.
Yeah,
I agree.
Major.
Couldn't say it better.
Hit the jar?
Yes, hit the jar.
Yes, hit the jar.
Oh shit, where is it? Oh, I see it.
You know about our jar?
Nah, I'm curious.
This is our jar of deep ass questions. So this is our last segment of the show where we pick one out. It's all questions about the music industry, and we see what you have to say about it.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
To each, yeah.
But
Do it.
1, 2, 3, 4. All right.
Got one for you.
You want to go first?
Yeah.
Bet.
What has been your biggest regret in your career?
Are we talking media?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
Sure.
go media.
I don't really have too many. I'll
can't say
say was that?
Can't say that.
No, I don't really have to. What I'll say is where I regret. Sometimes I get over eager. Sometimes it's like, yo, I'll figure it out later. Fuck it. So it's like, just like even with this, I was like, yo, okay, there's a train there. Fuck it. When I get there, I'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
But that's only going to be detrimental to me to a certain extent. But there's been times where I regretted. I booked an interview before I had a cameraman, and then I couldn't get that interview again.
I really like this answer, being overeager, because that's people always talk about if you think of something, just go out and do it, get it done like right away. And like a lot of times people might skip some steps on the ideation stage of things, like setting things up. So I really like that answer for sure. Like there's a lot, maybe sit on the idea for a little bit, whatever that little bit is, so you can really work through it before like really just hopping into it. So that makes sense. Yeah, like I know Poncho's very deliberate about like if we have an idea, like he's writing everything out that he could possibly think of before he shoots it. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, let's just set up these cameras and let's shoot it. You know what I mean?
But don't fucking get caught up in that shit.
Don't get
Sometimes
caught up.
you just don't do that. Just sometimes you do need to jump in the fire. I'm not gonna hold you. Sometimes
Okay,
you
yeah.
do.
So yeah, that balance. But yeah, I like
Facts.
that you added that.
That's real. All right, check it out. When it comes to people you work with, what is the most desirable personality trait that they could have?
Are we talking about working towards a project together or just being around each other?
We'll go. Let's say being around each other.
Sense of humor.
Really?
Yeah, because I understand, outside looking in, I could come off as very serious, but if you watch the debate, I think, because that's more so my personality, because I'm just hosting and chilling and talking, as opposed to asking questions. But I like to joke around, man. I like to play around. I'm serious about my shit, but I don't like nobody too uptight, yo.
Yeah.
Word.
I respect that. That's not what I expected, but nah, that's valid.
Well, I mean, because if we're working towards a project together and like I need you to make this happen, or we're trying to build together, I need someone as persistent as me. I'd rather somebody. I want someone to just be annoying to me. Like I'm tired of being the annoying person. I want someone to be like, yo, we going there. I want them to make me get up earlier. I want them to make me like, nah, we got to get it done today. So I would love to work. Like that personality trait, I would like that as far as working with somebody.
That's fire.
Yeah.
Good answer again. All right, so this is a similar question. To my last question, what do you never want to do again in your career?
Damn, these are some good. Got me scratching my bed and
it's
shit.
I know, but
What would I never want to do again? I'm just not. I'm not doing the team. Like I hope I could explain this correctly. I'm not doing a team. Like I have a crew of people that I work with. Shout out to the Links, Cheese, Ism, and all of that. But I'm not doing a team. I'm doing staff. So I'm never doing a team again. I'm doing staff.
No more 50-50s.
A 50-50 is something I feel that's more established as far as more so with a team. Because when people hear the word team, they feel like when I hear team is someone working together towards a common goal, even though I guess me being the lead or whoever is in the lead. The problem with teams is like there's no real positions. Like, sometimes the positions get blurred, especially if you're talking personal relationships.
okay.
So
Sure.
I'm going staff.
So what are the
You're
benefits
hired to
for a
do
particular
this.
purpose?
They know exactly what
You
they're
know
doing.
exactly
Yeah.
what you're doing here, and if it's not getting done, you understand what the issue's gonna be.
Okay,
Working
gotcha.
towards this common
so delegating tasks or things like more specifically instead of like okay.
Instead, because if it's a team, because the staff can be your team, but when you say staff, I think it drives the point more to people understand. When you hear team, it can be like, yeah, my man's in them. You know what I mean? My girlfriend. You know what I mean? People that, they're moving along with it, but it's not what they do. So you can't be like, yo, I thought you was gonna have it done by Friday. Then they start going, whoa, you act like you Vlad TV. Like, so it's like, I'll never, it's not that that's happened, but it's happened when I've done management. I've managed people. It's when I have been in a group before. So
Gotcha.
I like that. That's a good ass answer. I also just realized we're all wearing Yankee hats.
Oh, let's get it.
Get it.
Good shit.
It's like that. Yo, check it out. Last question of the night. What is the most agonizing part of chasing a career in this industry?
Oh man, there's so many. I'm gonna say the new shit that recently is killing me. The abundance of shows that is popping up. So it's like
the abundance.
Yeah. The abundance of shows that are popping up from people who are artists. So it's like it's just more people in the space to compete with. You're interviewing the same people, so it's like it's more people to compete with that doesn't have to put the same amount of work as you.
Okay.
But yeah, and honestly, just the amount of time you have to spend on fucking social media, that shit is agonizing.
Bro, I can't stand looking at my phone
Oh,
all day, bro.
Man,
Yo,
if you
my
talk about the
eyes
sizes, yeah. So, yeah, because prior to this, I wasn't really on it like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I wouldn't have fucking social media if I didn't do what I do.
Man.
Yeah, man. It's treacherous.
But it's useful, so it's like,
yeah,
I wouldn't have met you guys, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, thanks, we here.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
yo, you just killed these questions, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
you
You gave
bodied
because most people, a lot of people give kind of generic answers just because they're kind of broad, but you actually had some really like specific things, like answers I wouldn't have thought of. So
I
yeah,
appreciate
you just
that.
killed that.
Yes, sir.
No doubt.
Yo, I appreciate you coming through.
Thank you for having me, fellas. It was a great interview for real.
Thank you, bro.
This shit was dope.
Yeah, yes, sir. One last question though, to all the artists that are gonna watch this. Do you have anything to say to inspire them on their journeys?
I would say, listen, understand why you're doing it. And if you're only doing it for what the crowd reception is going to be, what my man Willie the Kid said, I'm sure he quoted it from somebody else. If you live for the chairs, then you'll die by the booze. So just keep pushing and understand if you're not going to be consistent and hardworking and ready to sacrifice, you might as well just wrap it up. If you're in it just for the looks, you might as well just wrap it up. Everybody else, man, just believe, Just believe and, hard work is only part of the step. You do need a little bit of luck, but they say luck is when opportunity meets preparation, or vice versa.
That's a fact.
For sure.
Real shit.
Yo,
Yes, sir.
you said if you live by the cheers, you're gonna die by the booze. I fuck with that.
Yeah.
It's like that. Yo, episode 45, Encore Podcast. I know you learned some shit. I know you laughed. I know you enjoyed it. So please subscribe to the channel. Tap in with us. Tap in with him because this is just the beginning of all of our channels.
Yes, word up. Because you guys have some dope people on here too. Word up.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
we here.
2 years, we gonna look back at this and be like, yo,
Facts.
So, last thing, can you tell the people where to find you on social media?
At this point, I'm cocky with it, man. I'm Googleable, I'm searchable. All you gotta do is put in the DagogetaTv and everything's gonna come up. My channel, the videos, the write-ups, the pictures, the Twitter, the IG. Listen, man, Mr. Everywhere, you never there. You already.
Yes, sir. So,
Hey, we out.
Yes, sir. We out. Appreciate you watching.
Yo, fellas, man, that was dope.
Amazing, bro. That was him.